This is the evening news from Moscow. You're listening to simultaneous interpretation from the Russian by John Glad. The program is entitled News 1. Good evening. Here you are listening to Channel 1. Today is Christmas. That means that the Orthodox Christians are hoping and forgetting their problems and they're remembering the Ten Commandments. Thou shalt not kill, love thy neighbor, thou shalt not steal. Today, this holiday has achieved state-recognized status. There are thousands of services being celebrated today on the occasion of Christmas. The Patriarch of Moscow, Alexei II, in the Yolokhova Moscow Cathedral, served the Christmas Eve service. He said that the spiritual renaissance of Russia was marked by a spiritual revival of all aspects of our life. The Russian Orthodox Church has declared 92 to be a holiday anniversary of the 600th anniversary of the birth of Saint Sergei Radonersky. This Christmas was also celebrated by old believers, the evangelists, Baptists, who are likewise celebrating Christmas under the Orthodox date. President Yeltsin came to the Christmas Eve service in Izmailova. Boris Nikolaevich wished all Orthodox people goodness and well-being. This logo means News 1. Christmas in Tbilisi was marked by dramatic events. In the second half of the day, the situation changed radically. It all began with a meeting at the railroad station square. 5,000 supporters of Gamsahurdia gathered there. They called for civil disobedience. The participants marched through the streets of Tbilisi, and not far from the center, someone threw smoke bombs, which fell before the marchers. Then there was brief, short automatic weapons fire. According to France Press, there were people killed and people wounded. By evening, the participants in the meeting, the demonstration split up. The opposition has power and said they would greet and welcome the participation of Shevardnadze in the governmental process. Shevardnadze said he would be happy to help in the establishment of democracy in Georgia. He wished his countrymen that they might take up a path of democracy and international peace. We have just learned that yesterday Edward Shevardnadze spoke with members of the provisional government, the Sigwa, Ioseliane, and Shashinidze. As for the fate of President Gamsahurdia, according to the Georgian embassy in Moscow, he is in Ijevan in Armenia. We have learned likewise that in Ijevan there will be direct negotiations on the fate of Gamsahurdia. An hour ago, in the embassy of Armenia, we were told that Gamsahurdia had refused to meet with the representatives of the coup committee. More than 90 persons have been wounded in the coup, and more than 500 have been wounded. A few minutes ago, our correspondent Petuch Raidze just came back from Tbilisi. Here is the film which she shot. I think that it does not need any comments. The voices here are in Georgian. Today is a holiday, but everyday problems have not gone away, and the prices in the stores are such that not everyone can have a holiday table. Vice President of Russia, Yegor Gaidov, said that not everyone knew how to pull off a reform. The prices are out of control. The reason we have this part of our program is that we had a call from an old woman who saw prices raised 3 times what she stood in line, from 1 ruble 90 kopecks for a liter to 350. They said that these were prices arranged by agreement, but whom are they agreeing with? First, the producer has sets own prices. Then there is an add-on for processing and packaging, and then the stores should add 15%. The stores do not have the right to raise their prices anymore. Remember that. We are frightened by the initial prices demanded by Moscow Oblast from the city. This is 80 rubles for a kilogram of sour cream, 4 rubles for milk, and 50 rubles for cottage cheese. But that's the market. Is there any limit to this, Tanya? What do you think? Will anyone buy sour cream for 90 rubles a kilogram and cottage cheese for 60? I think that the majority of people with their current salaries cannot permit themselves to buy these things, even 200 grams. These are items which quickly spoil. After 2 days, they'll be worthless. What do you do then? If we have time, within a day, we can send a telephone cable and ask that the goods be written off, and then no one will get the goods. The Ostankino region will suffer, and we will suffer. But if we do not manage to send that cable, our store will take the blow. Our salaries will be lowered. We'll have a shortage. Under which conditions would you agree to privatization? No, we will not agree to privatization given these prices. That's very risky. In Donetsk and other cities of the Donbass, there's a shortage of bread, and no one knows exactly why. In December, the prices on basic foodstuffs were lower than other cities, but today they are record-setting prices. On the 8th of January, we should have beef at 80 rubles a kilogram, although at the market the prices were only 50 rubles. Instead of the usual 500 tons of sausage which are normally sold, only a few kilograms are being sold. On the 10th of January, there will be coupons. The miners are demanding a larger amount of coupons. They're setting initial salaries for the miners of 8,000 rubles per month, under the condition that a ton of coal will be sold for 1,500 rubles. But in the strike committee, they consider that a miner should receive 17,000 rubles a month. With the introduction of coupons, the ruble will lose its significance in Ukraine. The center of contradictions is the Black Sea fleet, or more precisely, its future. Ukraine does not want to include it under the agreement on strategic weaponry. There is no nuclear weaponry on these ships, but there are submarines which have cruise missiles. With the appearance of a Ukrainian navy, we might re-examine the 1936 agreement on the access to the Black Sea. Our neighbors in the Black Sea and Mediterranean are quite carefully following this process, so we should not forget that the Commonwealth is not the entire world. The problem of the armed forces is likewise a very big problem, no less than the unity of the forces. In the Turkmenistan region, there was a meeting of the military with Mr. Niyazov. Today, the central delivery system has been ceased, and Turkmenia is forced to make allotments from its own sparse reserves. It has the largest land border with other countries, so it needs an army, and it needs an agreement with Russia as the heir to the Soviet Union, and must determine how much money Turkmenia should receive to maintain an army. The creation of a Turkmeni army will take place in stages over 5 years. The Supreme Command